What's going on, everyone? Welcome back. Today, we have got an early special look at our Week 5 NFL games, outright versus the spread, along with our locks of the week, as we take an early look at the Thursday night game between the Seattle Seahawks versus the LA Rams. So make sure to tune in. If you enjoy, hit that like button, subscribe, give us a follow on Twitter at AllDayPigskin to continue interacting with us there, and let us hear it in the comment section. Do you agree, disagree, along with any other questions you guys might have? We will do our best to answer them all. But with that being said, let's get right into it. And for today's breakdown, we will be using OddsJam once again to make sure we get the best odds out there and maximize our profits. If you guys aren't familiar with OddsJam, simply put, it's one of the best online databases of information when it comes to line shopping, when it comes to comparing sports books, really not only for the NFL, but any other sport out there as well. And if you're a new bettor, an experienced bettor, also take advantage of OddsJam's betting tools, like their positive EV tools, so you can see line discrepancies and get those best odds, or their arbitrage tool, so you can get equal and opposite bets for a risk-free return. All the details in the description, so make sure to check them out. But with that in mind, let's break down this game. The LA Rams at the Seattle Seahawks. The Rams are 3-1 coming off their first loss of the season versus the Arizona Cardinals, a game where, Arizona came out hot and the Rams couldn't really ever catch up, while the Seattle Seahawks are coming off a divisional win on their end. They're 2-2, beating the San Francisco 49ers, a game where it was a situation that Seattle really benefited because Jimmy Garoppolo got hurt early in that game, and then the 49ers had to rely on Trey Lance, who, even though did have some nice flashes, did also show signs of being a rookie. So I think last week was the perfect example, since this is an NFC West divisional clash yet again, that especially in the NFC West, you throw out the record. That does not matter. Anything can happen in these games. And usually, I like to go with the home teams to win those contests. This game is in Seattle. Even with that, the Seahawks are underdogs here. You will see they're at plus 125 on the money line. The LA Rams, some of the best odds you can get out there right now at minus 132. It's pretty close. On the spread, the Seahawks are at plus 2.5. Even with that home field advantage, a great home field advantage, but there are some reasons for concern here if you're going with the Seattle Seahawks. First and foremost, well, Chris Carson likely won't play in this game with some neck issues, which means it'll probably be the Alex Collins show. And this isn't a knock against Collins, but I just don't think that Seattle will be able to rely on him as much as they would Carson, especially in a big game like this. Won't quite be able to get the same type of production. And for that reason, I do think their offense takes a little bit of, a hit there. Otherwise, you've still got Russell Wilson, you've got Metcalf, you've got Tyler Lockett, all guys that you can rely on. But this isn't the same old LA Rams team from years past where, again, by the way, last season in 2020, well, this was a series that was split, even with Jared Goff under center for the LA Rams. So I do anticipate something similar this year. The Rams are coming off a loss. So, as tough as it might seem to have them lose 2 in a row, I would say it's entirely possible here. The way that I would approach this game is, yes, I would give the Rams the advantage outright. I think that this is a Rams team that is honestly just completely different than the one we saw last year because of the fact that Matthew Stafford is there. And it has such a huge trickle-down effect, not only for the offense, but for defense too. And even though they lost to the Arizona Cardinals, you could argue that they lost to the MVP of the NFL so far in Kyler Murray in a game where they just never really got hot at the right time. We're always trailing. So I do think they're going to be playing better here. The Seattle Seahawks defense, we have seen it can be taken advantage of. The Rams have usually done a good job of shutting out guys like a DK Metcalf. Look for that matchup, Ramsey versus Metcalf. It's going to be a lot on the shoulders of one of those wide receivers for Seattle, whether it's Metcalf, whether it's Lockett. I do think the other one will probably be shut down by this secondary. And then, the front for the LA Rams will get after Russell Wilson with Aaron Donald like they usually do. I do think it will be a very, very close game here, back and forth, with both teams having a chance to win. Like I said before, usually in these NFC West divisional clashes, you throw out the record and you look at that home team, because the home team advantage does mean something in these matchups, especially if you're playing in Seattle. What I would do here personally is, even though I like the Rams outright, because from top to bottom, I think they are the more complete team offensively, even though, Russell Wilson is the better, escape artist and can make more things happen with the ability of his legs, can extend plays, things like that. I think the Rams have a little bit more weapons offensively. Darrell Henderson now fully healthy. And defensively, I think it's without a question that the Rams are the better team. So I have to give them the ever so slight edge and take them outright. But on the spread, so the Seahawks at plus 2.5, I realize it's almost a pick 'em. What I would personally do here is I would look to, tease that, get Seattle to maybe like plus 3.5, get that field goal difference, and then ride with the Seattle Seahawks on the spread that way. Because I'm telling you, folks, I don't think this will be a blowout one way or the other. It's rarely the case in these NFC West clashes. You can take a look from years prior, even from week 4 this last season. These are close, competitive games, and I think that's what we're going to see here. So for that reason, I would do it that way. Rams outright, tease that spread up a little bit to like plus 3.5, and take the Seattle Seahawks that way there. I'm not taking any locks here. This game could go really either which way. So for that reason, just focus on the money line, focus on the spread. But with that being said, we kind of wrap up this Thursday night breakdown. And as always, let us hear it in the comment section. Did you agree, disagree, along with any other questions you guys might have? We will do our best to answer them all. If you enjoyed, hit that like button, subscribe. Give us a follow on Twitter at AllDayPigskin to continue interacting with us there. And make sure to check out OddsJam so you're getting the best odds out there. Again, link in the description. But in the meantime, we'll see you guys in future videos.